1998, it was me, my brother John, and in fact, my name was David. I have to be given Christian name to conform here. I changed it because I'm not David.
So were you also baptized?
Yeah, everything was wrong. I was baptized, and I pray that I am not going to be. I'm going to be debaptized again because it's the worst crime you could ever commit. Who's John in my family? Who's David in my family? Who? Nobody, except colonial mentality to feed into something that you don't be. So I came here with my sister-in-law, my nephew Joshua, and my brother John, and we settled in Blacktown, June 26, 1998. My father, Uncle Bob, a white guy, still alive today, it's my father, and a white woman, Christine Addison Campbell, Bob Addison Campbell. They sponsored us from Nairobi in Kenya, and they brought us to Australia. When we got here, Bob picked us up, took us to Blacktown. Bob and Christine were actually the Catholic, were from Catholic diocese. And so should I have anything against them? No. Because without Bob, my brother was going to die because my brother was a political piece of crap. Okay? He was going against the leader of the movement, which I don't even appreciate because Dr. John Garang it was just because he was tortured. He was tortured and left for dead. That's why.
And can you tell us a little bit about the flight? You took a
The flight was
from
bad.
Nairobi to Hong Kong.
It was so ugly.
And
it was
you
so
didn't
ugly.
eat anything.
Now I have to say something bad about Chinese people. Chinese people, when we arrived there, they start looking at us, start wrapping at our skin like there was dirt attached to this part of my body.
No, they were doing it to you?
Yes, me and my brother. They actually asked my brother, because I couldn't speak English, they asked my brother to actually wrap to see whether I am actually painted with dirt. Chinese people.
And did you know what they were doing at that time?
I didn't know. My brother told me.
Did you realize?
No. I thought I was like a pet to them now. That's how I feel like. But just imagine a Chinaman. I could describe anything about Chinese people. But I will never say anything bad.
But
But if you go that far,
even for you, it must have been the first time.
1998, there were a lot of Sudanese in Australia. I think in New South Wales, there were about 4 families that are Sudanese in Australia. So.
And you were one of them?
Yes. So yes, I don't blame the whole China. They don't even know today. They don't even know. I don't blame China. I want to blame Australia.
So when you came to Australia, it must have been a very different world for you.
Racism in practice.
Right? Especially, if we talk about simple things like crossing the road,
it's racism
going to
in
the
practice.
Supermarket.
It's a racism in practice. It haven't changed since I came here. No. It's just I made my way. That's a big difference. Haven't changed. Haven't changed. It's actually even worse as we speak today. So
what do you mean?
It's worse. It's worse. I have most of my members of my community being locked up in prison today. Racism in practice.
Without any reason?
There's no reason for a white man to lock and a black man up. He's black. That's all. I actually, do you know, I'm the only man here that's been asked for identification, that I'm a lawyer. You don't even ask for a criminal to go to court to show their ID because they're criminal already and they're meant to be there. But for me to say I'm a lawyer is a claim that I'm a lawyer. There you go. And it's false claim, and they have to actually wrap up everything. They have to bring their security. They have to bring their registrar. They have to bring everybody that's there to prove that I am actually who I said I was. In Australia, I'm always declined.
But you've also received enormous success in Australia as one of the top lawyers in the country.
Yes, but do you know how many of them saw that? It's just because of that little bit doesn't mean that these people have changed their attitude or their culture or their mindset. They're still fixated the same way. It's no different. You can't change a racist mind. It's a racist mind. It's like getting caught with tuberculosis, you will cough forever. If you have AIDS, you're going to die of AIDS. A racist mind will die like that. They will poison their children just like that. And that is how it is. It's no different. Yes, Australia have a people. I was brought here by an Australian white woman and white father. It doesn't mean that I have to actually dishonor them, because the reason they brought me here is because they knew that I'm a human being. And I'll speak for them. Otherwise, I would dishonor them. That is the key to it. Yes, they got us here. So should I actually pretend that they didn't do the right thing? Yes, I stand by them. And that is the key to it. So any other person there, they're doing whatever they're doing is, unless they say that I was lesser, why would they waste their money? I didn't come here. You ain't got me a ration card to come to Kakuma. But who got me here? No, not United Nations. With Australian mother and Australian father, white people. So yeah, so I'm
And
not
they
going
really
to
helped
pretend.
you integrate in the Australian life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not going to pretend that like I don't know who got me here. Who's a woman with a heart, a woman
Now,
that knows I'm not a
you know,
human.
People talk about refugees, they read about refugees, they read about the struggles. In many places, refugees are also really looked down upon.
Yep.
They are looked at like they are thieves, criminals, and people often don't realize the struggles behind a refugee's life, especially when they have been forced out of their country without their will, right? And they come to a new country and they're often trapped in the refugee camps
Yeah,
where the laws are very strict. You cannot leave the camp after 6 o'clock. You cannot have another job. Or you cannot earn money. All of that. And
thank you.
right.
Is that
So
democracy?
can you tell us a little bit about
Is
that?
that democracy? No.
Pardon?
Is that democracy? Is that democratic country? Is that how democratic should be described? When you basically put some people in a cage and they have timeline and they had some sort of breathing point. Sometimes they even have one phone call. Even now Australia is saying that people in migration detention center should never have a phone call. Just imagine that. This is Australia. We call it democracy. Think about it. That's not democracy. I actually feel so bad for my Sudanese brothers, because I know some Sudanese left Sudan because they ran away from their life, went to Egypt, crossed the ocean to come to Australia. The risk they took to come to this place is incalculable. Captain Cook didn't come with that ragged ass boat, that dirty boat, that stupid boat. No, come with a proper ship. But these people, they did unthinkable. I want to ask people to give it a go, but they made it to come here. And you know what they find themselves in? In a cage. In cages, where they can't even breathe. You know, if I were them, I would rather die than actually crossing the ocean to come here. I would rather die as a human being.